Earlier in the morning, Josh had paid for a couple of people to come and cut down the trees for us. This is just the aftermath of the trees being cut down, and this is how we cleaned up. This tree in particular was really dead. If the tree wasn't so dead, there's no way I would have been able to pick up this tree in as big of chunks as I did. Even so, being dead, some of these pieces were still incredibly heavy. It took a lot of oomph to get them moving. Hindsight being 2020, we probably should have cut them into smaller pieces after the tree guys. That way we weren't having to jostle around such big pieces. While I'm working on this tree in the backyard, Josh is up front taking care of the bigger one that was over the driveway. We're just trying to tag team and get as much done as possible. Once I got everything picked up in the backyard, I met up in the front yard with Josh. He was just ready to take the trailer to unload it, so we headed to the backyard to find our wood pile. Our property has such a beautiful golden glow in the afternoons. We love it so much out here. After pulling up to our dedicated wood pile, it was time to unload everything. As you can probably tell by the pile size, we had been working for quite a while before I decided to go grab the phone and record the process. I'm not one to back down from a challenge, so when Josh said let's have a big log throwing contest, I had to say yes. Of course, he had to pick out the thinner log and make me throw the bigger one. I was quickly humbled when I saw just how much air he managed to get. I'm still pretty impressed with myself and how far I did manage to throw it. I have no idea how heavy this log actually was, but it was pretty intense. Afterwards, I got a little cocky and decided to try and throw some bigger logs. I did never get them very far, and of course, he had to show off just how high he could really throw them. After emptying the trailer, it's time to head back to the front yard. His strength never ceases to amaze me as he manages to take care of this huge stump all by himself. However, I know he shouldn't do it by himself, so here I am giving him a hand. They say teamwork makes the dream work. In case you were wondering, that is a 20-inch blade and it's a still. We had picked it up earlier that day at the local Ace. There's his not so subtle way of telling me that he wants these out of the way. When he pulled that back, we both had to take a moment of wow. We have no idea what kind of tree this was, but we speculate it might have been a red oak tree. It was just so beautiful on the inside. I should have practiced a little bit more grace when handling these logs. As I throw this one down, I send another part flying.
It's humped up, it'll pinch. And if it pinches, it'll pinch the saw blade. And it can actually break the blade or screw the saw up. We don't want that. We can try to roll it with the truck, take a rope, wrap around it a couple times.
This?
Yeah.
Why don't we just shove it over? I bet me and you could shove it over.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I bet. Come on, go, 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 go.
I'm pushing.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna rock it. So you gotta let it fall back and push and use the momentum. It almost
going,
went.
baby.
In a hasty retreat, we headed to the backyard to empty the trailer. We figured this would give us some time to figure out how we were going to move that log without roping the truck into it. I managed to talk him into keeping this stump. I don't know, I was sentimental about it. I really liked it. With my new prize in tow, we headed over to a spot where I could unload it so it could dry. Who knows, maybe one day I'll carve it into something beautiful. Part of me wishes I got a better before and after picture. But the tree guys came really early in the morning and I just wasn't up for it. They felled the tree right across the driveway, so there was quite the mess to pick up in the driveway and in the front yard. After taking some time to think about it, Josh decided that the best way to go about this would be to cut the log into smaller sections. That way it was easier to manage. At this point in time, the fatigue was really starting to set in for both of us. So as I rolled up this log, Josh decided to take his throne. A perfect place to rest after a hard day's work. As he takes a rest, I decided to keep rolling up the logs up to the trailer. That way when we're ready to load them, they're right there waiting for us.
Harder. Oh. Yay.
After a much needed break, the trunk of the tree was no match for the sledgehammer.
Goes. That one's gone. Woo!
We both took a second to hesitate loading this up. The beauty of this trunk was really starting to shine through, and we both were fascinated by its beauty.
It was.
Now for the moment of truth. Did we take enough weight off of the trunk to be able to roll it over? And with a lot of effort, the answer was eventually yes. Now that it's rolled over, we can finish cutting them all the way through. Well, maybe.
Pull it again. Don't keep this top.
Of course, the dog had to come check out what we were doing. And with his stamp of approval, we know that we were almost done for the day.
There's some dark pee-pee there.
As we were losing daylight, we decided to just blow off the driveway and call it a day. To be continued. Thank you for watching.